An M83 remix of Depeche Mode's Suffer Well. That's right, I just rocked some Depeche Mode on a Saturday. Early on a Saturday. Okay, it's not that early, but somewhat early. Nice. Got some sweet little wounds wrestling in the park. Super fun. And now a whole different kind of super fun. And actually, maybe it'll tie into this. We'll see. 2 Corinthians 4:17. Listen, my friends. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Glory. Now, I know I've actually wrangled through this, I think, maybe this exact verse before on here. But it doesn't get much better in terms of eternal promises and beauty. That cannot be contained. Because I dare say a day does not go by. Okay, I dare say 3 days do not go by where I do not at some point bemoan some measure of affliction. Whether physical, emotional, spiritual, circumstantial, something where I'm like, come on, not fair, no way. But let us examine it. Why are you suffering? In every moment, why are you suffering? Are you suffering to draw closer to God? Are you suffering to draw closer to yourself, deeper within yourself? And I think to answer that question, you have to ask, what are you pursuing? What are you pursuing every day? Are you suffering for your art? That's a popular one amongst people I know. I can't answer your questions for you, but I can exhort you as a brother and sister. Do not suffer in vain, but indeed cling to the good graces of God as served through Christ, and let all your suffering be for a purpose. Let all your suffering be for a beautiful purpose. And you know what, logically, it's not terribly difficult to cling to, we do not suffer long. Our life is but a hand's breadth of an ant on an anthill on an earth in the middle of a galaxy, in the middle of infinite space. And indeed our seasons of affliction, typically, at least for me, don't tend to last that long. Worst case scenario, let's say maybe 40, 50 years of affliction. Sometimes full 70, 80. I know that seems like a lot, relatively speaking, but it's not. We're eternal beings. We are created for infinity, for an infinite timeline. But this is an important journey. This earthbound one, for whatever reason, is quite important. So I just exhort you. Don't bemoan your affliction, but learn from it. Are you suffering because you're holding on to something and it's trying to be yanked out of your grip? Let it go. There are few things worth fighting for. Your soul, goodness, righteousness, a relationship with God, your Creator, is one of them. Maybe a few other things in there. But many other things, man, if you are suffering because you won't let go, surrender. If you are suffering of any attachment, anything we do can be done righteously and wickedly. Can be done in a helpful fashion and an unhelpful fashion. Can be done towards the light and towards the darkness. Are you suffering in darkness? Flee the darkness. Are you suffering in the light? Then bless that moment. If you are suffering because you are doing something absolutely correct and people are putting something upon you, you are blessed. And that affliction is a badge of honor to you. If you are suffering because you can't let go of something, let it go. And bless that moment too. Because that's when you learn to let that thing go you clung far too hard to. For me today, I cling not to this flesh, but to the garments of Christ, of God made flesh, come to the world to lead us out of this darkness, and I walk in the footsteps of his light. Amen. Selah. Peace be unto you, my friends.